Hi everybody. So today we are going to be making some cheesecake bars, and this is the same recipe that we have at school. The crust is going to be first, and there's only 3 ingredients. So we have graham cracker crumbs. Stick that right in the bowl. And we have 1/4 cup of sugar. And we're going to blend that together, mix it all together first, so it doesn't look like 2 separate ingredients. I'm going to blend it in nice and even. Then the last thing is our butter, and we've melted our butter, and it's just 1 cube, so 4 ounces of butter. So we're going to add that. And we're going to mix all this together. So all the dry stuff, it needs to get mixed in so it all looks wet. If you have dry stuff like I do, then that means it's not mixed well enough. So you're just going to keep stirring it, mixing it all together. Get all blended nice and even. You see that it's starting to stick together, and that's exactly what we want. We have no more dry parts in there, so looks like we're ready. So we're going to get our pan. This is a 1/4 sheet pan. I'm going to dump all of our graham cracker mixture in there. And we're going to take it and spread it out. We're not going to press it down yet until it's nice and even, that all of the parts of the bottom of the pan, the silver parts, get covered up as good as we can, like this. And then we're going to take our hands and we're going to press that in tight. Nice and tight. Okay, so that's our crust. And now we're going to put it in the oven, and we're going to bake it for 6 minutes. Okay, so we just finished our crust and just took it out of the oven. So now we're going to start on the filling. And the first thing we do is take our cream cheese, and I have 1 pound of cream cheese, and I'm going to put it in my mixer here. And we are going to cream the cream cheese. And that means that it's just going to get soft. And it's not going to look chunky, it's going to be smooth all the way. So we're just going to keep mixing. And when it starts sticking to the side, I'm going to get my rubber spatula, and I'm going to scrape down the sides of the bowl. And I'm going to scrape the cream cheese off the paddle as much as I can. And the softer the cream cheese, the faster this is going to be all blended together. So you want to, if it's right out of the fridge, you want to soften it a little bit in the microwave first. But if you are planning ahead, then you can take it out of the fridge and let it sit at room temperature. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and restart this. Stop again, scrape down the sides and the paddle, and it's looking pretty good. And a good thing to do with cheesecake bars, when you're making any kind of cheesecake, in my opinion, that you add 1 ingredient in at a time and make sure it's all blended really good with each ingredient. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mix this one more time. Okay, so I'm going to do one last scrape down before I add my next ingredient. All right, so I got that all scraped down. I'm going to get as much off my spatula as I can because I want it all to be mixed in evenly without chunks. Okay. Now, my next ingredient is a can of sweetened condensed milk. This is what it looks like. It's sweetened milk. So we're just going to pour that whole thing in and scrape out all that we can out of the can. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and start this again. Kind of chunky, so we just want to make sure we mix it all in until we don't see as many big chunks in there. And I'm going to scrape down the side again, because if there's any cream cheese that's stuck to the bottom, we want to make sure that we get it up and blended really good. Once you get more ingredients added, then it's going to be a lot easier to scrape down the sides and the bottom because it's runnier. But you want to make sure you're scraping the bottom really good because this cream cheese likes to be very sticky. And we want it all to be blended evenly. We don't want to leave any at the bottom or the sides of the pan. And if you don't have a mixer like mine, it's okay. You can use a hand beater, or you can even work with it just by stirring it. It will take longer, but it's doable. All right, let's start this again. That looks nice and creamy. So our next ingredient is 1/2 cup of eggs. So 1/2 cup equals 2 eggs. So if you're using eggs that you have to crack, it's 2 eggs. Okay, and I'm going to scrape down the sides again, just so that nothing is sticking to the bottom. We do a lot of scraping the sides of the bowl and the paddle when we use different recipes in the bakery. Okay, I'm going to try and scrape a little bit more off my paddle so I know that's getting all mixed in there. Okay, cleaning off my spatula a little bit. All right, we're going to go ahead and start this again. Slow at first because it has liquids going. We don't want liquids to fly up in our face or on our clothes. Start out slow. Speed it up a little bit more. Okay. All right, see how much creamier that looks. Okay, so 2 more ingredients. So we have 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and I'm going to put these 2 in at the same time. And then I have 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. And again, I'm going to scrape down the sides. Okay, get it all off the bottom and the sides. Okay. Scrape off my spatula the best I can. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start it. This will probably be the last time we need to blend it. that looks great. Okay, so now we get to pour this in our crust. I'm just going to scrape off my paddle. And if there's a little bit of chunks of cream cheese, that's okay. Most of it is all blended in and it looks great. And what I like to do is do one last stir just to make sure that we don't have any real sticky cream cheese at the bottom of our bowl. So it's a good idea just to stir it up, make sure everything from the sides and bottom are loose. Then we're just going to go ahead and pour this whole thing in here. Sometimes it looks like it's going to be too much, but it's not. It fits perfectly. We just want to make sure that we're spreading it out so it's nice and even. We don't have any high spots or low spots. Okay, so now that we have this all leveled, so I just take the raspberry and I'm going up and down with my raspberry filling. And you can do any flavor of fruit that you want. I just so happen to have raspberry here at home. Go up and down all the way. Okay. Then I'm going to take my offset spatula and I'm just going to drag this back and forth. Okay, and you can even make other designs if you want. You can drag it another direction just to make it a little bit different. However you choose is just fine. Some people even will take it and just swirl it in, so it's like mixed in all the way through. But I think we're just going to do it on the top just like that. And this is the finished product.